Hello, fellas. Don't tell anybody that I got a YouTube channel. It's a high secret and no one should know about it. Anyways, I'm sorry that this review took long to make, but I have a country to run, and I barely got time for myself. You know what? Let's not worry you about me, and let's get to the review, shall we? On December 1st, 2022, Striking Distance Studios, who were found by some of the developers behind Dead Space, released their highly anticipated game, The Callisto Protocol. Looking at the trailers of the game before their release, you couldn't help but get really hyped for it. And in this review, we are going to see if The Callisto Protocol did live up to the expectations. So, shall we find out? First, let's talk about the story. Looking at the background of the team who worked on this game, you would automatically assume that the story is going to be good. However, it did not grab my attention, and it was just lazy writing, in my opinion. And honestly, it felt like it was just a simple plot to keep things moving and nothing else. It's almost as if the developers were focusing on the gameplay and the gameplay only, which we will get into in a bit. However, and despite the simplicity of the story, I have to give credit to the cast behind this game, most notably Josh Duhamel, who's known as Pierce from Call of Duty World War II, and Sam Witwer, who's known as Deacon St. John's from Days Gone, as they did an amazing job playing their roles in this somewhat of a short campaign.
I told you. This is my kingdom. It's all yours.
Moving on to the gameplay. After a short intro, the game gives you a melee weapon, which becomes your best friend in this game. That's because the game has no enemy variety, and it has about 7 enemy types only. And you can take on pretty much most of them with melee only, since the dodge mechanics aren't complicated. But I gotta say, the dodging felt somewhat annoying, especially against bosses, because it consists of moving your left analog stick left or right, and that analog stick happened to be the same one you use to move your character. So sometimes you try to dodge and you find yourself walking, and that, my friend, led me to die a lot of times, and that's what's frustrating about it. Anyways, later on, the game gives you multiple weapons: a shotgun, pistol, and a semi-automatic gun. These weapons will come in handy when facing the final boss, which will require some shooting to beat. Oh, and I forgot to mention that they had a clicker knockout from The Last of Us, which wasn't as terrifying. That sums up the gameplay for you, I guess. Now, let's move on to our next point, which is the graphics. The graphics in this game are really, really good, despite some poppings when you first fire up the game. These graphics made me wish for the Dead Space remake to come sooner, and in my opinion, that's the only thing that the Callisto Protocol didn't lack. And honestly, the graphics really helped sell the atmosphere in this game, and it was somewhat immersive because of that. And speaking of immersive, gore in this game was something else and can easily be described as my favorite part of the game. This game is simply very, very nasty when it comes to gore. It throws at you a lot of different death animations, like head explosions, arms get ripped off, Eyes get popped out, skull get crashed and smashed, body ripped in half. A lot of different animation, like I said. And in conclusion, it was fun watching all different possibilities as to how you could die. And like I mentioned earlier, these things, alongside the graphics, is what helps show the atmosphere and make this game somewhat immersive. You know what's not immersive, though? The performance. The performance of this game is shockingly bad, especially on PC, as no matter how strong your PC is, the game will bug you with frame drops as it cannot hold a solid 60 FPS. Not to mention the constant stuttering. And honestly, that's a no-no in my book. In the end, was the game fun? Yes, it was. Was it worth $60 or $70? I think not. And I think it is better to wait for it to go on sale. And hopefully the performance issue will be fixed by then, so you can enjoy and have some fun with this short game. At this note, this video has come to an end. But before I go, let me know your thoughts in the comments section. Do you agree with me? And have you got the game already, or will you wait? Lastly, what game review do you want next? And don't forget to like and subscribe, as it helps us a lot. The President, at your service.